తెలంగాణ రైజింగ్ గ్లోబల్ సమ్మిట్ 2025 విజయోత్సవ సభ ఇది. సుసంపన్నమైన శుభ సందర్భం ఇది. ఈ శుభ సందర్భంలో తెలంగాణ తల్లి ఆశీస్సులు అందరం కలిసి అందుకుందాం. అందరం లేచి నిలబడదాం. జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ స్టేట్ సాంగ్. తెలంగాణ స్టేట్ సాంగ్. జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ.
जय हे तेलंगाना core urban region where deep tech and finance will thrive in world-class cities. The peri-urban region where fast urbanization is happening, the hum of the machinery and logistics will drive global exports. In the rural area, where our farmers become partners in prosperity through value chains and green energy. This is the blueprint for Viksit Telangana as part of Viksit Bharat dream of Honorable Prime Minister. It is a model where the skyscraper and the silo stand together. But friends, economic growth without a soul is merely commerce. Telangana is built on a foundation of struggle and poetry. Standing here, I am reminded of the great revolutionary poet, Dasarathi Krishnamacharyalu, who even from behind the prison bars saw the brilliance of this land and people. He sang, Na Telangana Koti Ratanala Veena. In English, my Telangana is a veena decked with a crore of diamonds. For decades, these diamonds lay hidden in the dust of neglect. Today, through your investments and our vision and hard work, we are polishing these diamonds. The world can now see and shine. From the weaves of Pochampalli to the software quarters of Cyberabad, the melody of the veena is now being heard across India and across the globe. And let us not forget the conscience keeper of the state, the Prajakavi Kaloji Narayan Rao, who taught us that true progress is inclusive. In this spirit, I assure you that this $1 trillion vision is for the common man. It will ensure that the wealth we create in these plenary halls, in this Bharat Future City, will also reach the last household of Telangana, of Adilabad, of Kottagudem Bhadradri, and also of Gadwal. As we close summit, we open a new chapter. To our investors, you have placed your trust in us. We will honor it with speed, transparency, and partnership. To our youth, the Skill University, chaired by Sri Anand Mahindra ji, this is for you. Prepare yourself for the world. History tells us that in the words of Victor Hugo, no force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. Telangana's time has come today. We are resilient. We are ambitious. As our Chief Minister declared to the world, Telangana's rise is unstoppable. Let us go forth from this place and build the future. Come, join the rise. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Telangana. Now I would request Sri Anand Mahindra ji to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, Gaurava Sabaku Namaskaram. Now, I'm sure many of you here today have at some point in your lives experienced a moment when suddenly the horizon of possibilities opened up in front of you. And I believe that nations and states also experience such moments. And as I stand before you here today, I can say with absolute conviction that Telangana is at precisely such a pivotal juncture in its journey. We are all here in Hyderabad today when a bold manifesto for the future is about to be launched. Now, I had the privilege of reviewing this vision a short while ago, and frankly, I was astonished. And I don't use that word lightly. The great artist and inventor Michelangelo is believed to have said that the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. Now, after seeing the blueprint of this vision document, it's clear to me that the danger of aiming low has been decisively buried. This has got to be one of the most ambitious and genuinely people-centric visions I have ever encountered, not just in India, but globally. Equally impressive is not just the scale of ambition, but the depth of its foundation. And I want to emphasize that this vision was co-created. And I repeat, it was co-created. It was not written in isolation, but it was shaped by an extensive consultation with the citizens of Telangana and with experts in chosen fields, by understanding their needs, their aspirations, and their hopes. And frankly, this resonated very, very deeply with me, because at our own Mahindra Group, I have often said that vision is not the monopoly of just a leader or of a few people. And history has shown us that dreams which become reality are dreams which are shared, which are co-created. Because when people participate in designing their own future, the odds of success rise dramatically. And going further, when policy is shaped along with purpose, the impact is multiplied. And so I was so pleased to see that this vision, which has youth at its core, women as economic leaders, and sustainability as a non-negotiable foundation, well, that's a powerful embodiment of that purpose and that belief. So I want to compliment you, Chief Minister, and to your entire team for following this very inspiring process. And at Mahindra, frankly, we are very proud to observe this journey, not just to observe it, but actually to be participants in it. One example alone, our women-led battery manufacturing facility in Zahirabad is not just a factory. It is our very own statement of belief in the future that is being built right here. And on a personal note, I'm honored to serve as the chairman of the Young India Skills University, as was mentioned earlier. Now, I have to confess, when the Chief Minister first asked me, I was very hesitant, as you will recall. And I'll be honest, at this stage in my life, I'm very, very protective of my personal time. And I had planned really to focus all my energies on Mahindra University, which is right here in Hyderabad, and on other educational initiatives that I had already committed myself to. So I was preparing myself to very politely decline this invitation to the Chief Minister. And to be honest, after spending 4 decades in business, I consider myself a reasonably tough negotiator. But I met my match. The Chief Minister listened, he smiled, and then he presented a case which made it impossible for my conscience to walk away. You clearly are someone who doesn't take no for an answer. The Chief Minister, to be honest, saw that the Young India Skills University was not just about Telangana, but about India's future. That clarity of purpose turned the request into an offer that frankly I could not refuse. And since accepting this role, my conviction in this role has only deepened. And let me explain why. We are living through a digital tsunami. Artificial intelligence dominates global conversations, and it's often accompanied by fear, fear of what AI and the future will bring. But I want to take a contrarian view. I believe that the more digital the world becomes, the more valuable the human touch will be. As AI inevitably absorbs the repetitive and the routine, value shifts to what machines cannot replace: the skill of the hand, the intuition of the craftsperson, the empathy of the caregiver, and the problem-solving grit of the technician. And just look around at many developed countries today and developed economies. Their challenge is not a lack of capital or technology. It is really the hollowing out of skilled real-world talent. They have a surplus of managers, but they have a shortage of makers. Nations are built not only on the cloud, but firmly on the ground. And happily, Telangana is choosing a different path. Through this Young India Skills University, we are asserting that blue collar is the new gold collar. We are preparing a workforce that is not threatened by AI, but which is going to be indispensable despite AI. And to help shape such a generation, one that can serve India and a world hungry for skill, well, that's a privilege that I rank amongst my highest. So thank you, Chief Minister, for making me part of that mission. And to the people of Telangana, I must tell you, the Mahindra Group is not going to be a bystander. We will stand with you as you turn this distilled ambition of your people into prosperity. Thank you, and dhanyavadamulu.
Thank you, sir. Your services to the people of Telangana, as you have rightly observed initially, you were reluctant, but nevertheless, we have seen the Young India Skills University taking roots, shape, and it's blooming, and I'm sure that thousands of children will be benefited from the skills which they learn there. Now, there is a message by Sri Raghuram Rajan, former Governor of Reserve Bank of India, who is also part of the state's advisory council. Can you kindly play the message, please?
Rajan. Namaskar. My name is Raghuram Rajan, and I'm on the Advisory Council for the Telangana Rising Vision Plan 2047.
There's a problem with the video. Can you please check? Yeah.
Namaskar. My name is Raghuram Rajan, and I'm on the Advisory Council for the Telangana Rising Vision Plan 2047. It is indeed an ambitious plan, as it should be, and it touches every facet of the state and its citizens. It aims to be citizen-centric and comprehensive, touching those in core urban areas like Hyderabad, but also those in peri-urban areas as well as in rural areas. The focus on citizen capabilities like health, education, and skilling is particularly important, for once people have the capabilities, their energy is unleashed, and once unleashed, it is unstoppable. The fundamental economic requirement in India today is jobs, and the plan has a comprehensive vision of where they will come from and how to prepare people for them. A large urbanizing India will prepare all the jobs that we need. We just need to recognize they will not be in the places other countries have found them, and the vision document understands this. The vision documents emphasis on new technologies that will help make governance more transparent and inclusive, as well as more effective, is very important. For the scale of the plan's ambition requires scarce government personnel and resources to be deployed judiciously and its effects multiplied, and technology will help do this. Similarly, it will require citizens to know what is happening and to be able to react if course correction is needed, once again, a key effect of technology. So the challenges now are three: implementation, feedback, and course correction. Telangana knows where it's going based on a plan drawn up by consulting its citizens. I look forward to the journey. Jai Telangana, Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I'd request Dr. Duvuri Subbarao Garu, former Governor, Reserve Bank of India, to kindly address the gathering.
Chief Minister Sri Revant Reddy, Deputy Chief Minister Bhattivekamar Garu, all the dignitaries on the stage, and all my friends. I'm delighted to be here, part of the Telangana Rising celebrations in this future Bharat city. It's an occasion to set goals for the next 2 decades and position Telangana as the #1 state in the country, a very lofty ideal. I'm privileged to have served in the combined state of Andhra Pradesh much before all these people rose to political stardom. I have very fond memories. I worked in parts of Telangana. I was Collector Khammam when our Deputy Chief Minister must have been in school, and then I was Finance Secretary of the combined state. Although the state is administratively and politically divided, I feel emotionally at home in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And Hyderabad is my home now, Telangana is my state now, but I belong to the entire combined Andhra Pradesh. Over the last 10 years, Telangana has clocked remarkable progress. A state once known for feudalism, poverty, backwardness, ignorance, is today possibly the #1 state, clocking possibly the highest growth rate in the country over the last 10 years. Hyderabad, this charming, beautiful city, is a jewel. You know, all around the country, and many of these people have traveled around the world, around the country. I'm very proud of this city. If there's one Indian city that is representative of all of India, it is Hyderabad. Cosmopolitan in outlook, blend of tradition and the best of traditions and values and modernity, safe for everyone, the best example of unity in diversity. You know, at one time when I was in the government, sir, in the late 90s, early 20s, we used to look for the overflow from Bangalore. So Bangalore is the icon of India, and Bangalore is saturated, so the overflow will come to Hyderabad. Today, Hyderabad is iconic. It's Hyderabad that people look up to as the first choice. So I'm very proud of what the government of Telangana has attempted. Congratulations to you, sir, and to your entire government. This document, I've not seen it, it's going to be released later in this event, is prepared by the government, working closely with the ISP, with Niti Aayog, I believe with wide-ranging consultations with the stakeholders. And I've not seen the document, but I'm privileged to be part of the advisory committee, and I look forward to studying the document and working with the government on implementing it over the next couple of years. But what I gather, what I heard the Chief Minister say yesterday, is that Viksit Telangana wants to be the #1 state in the country with $1 trillion GSDP by 2034 and $3 trillion by 2047, the centenary of the independence. Today, the GSDP of Telangana is about 16.7 trillion rupees, which roughly translates to $250 billion. We are at $250 billion today. We've got to get to 3 trillion in 22 years, which means multiply the GSDP by 15 times. And if you do simple arithmetic, it means that the state has to grow by about 8 to 9%, perhaps even faster. One trade of lead, that's a tough goal, a challenging goal, difficult, but not impossible. One trait of leadership is actually to set impossible goals, near impossible goals. So I want to congratulate the government for setting that goal. Yesterday, the Chief Minister mentioned that Telangana wants to replicate the Gyeongdong success. Gyeongdong is the best practice in accelerated growth rate. Not perfect, but probably the best practice. I'm sure Telangana will do even better. It's presumptuous on my part to lay out the agenda, because the agenda for getting 2047 Telangana is large, complex, and that's going to be in the document. It'll be presumptuous for me to second guess that at the moment. But I want to make a few points at this stage. The first is the state must build on its core competence. Hyderabad is already known for its IT, its pharma, its biotechnology, services. Where I live in KPHB, there is GCCs coming up every day. So I see them, I experience them. But Telangana must expand into manufacturing, agribusiness, and into a variety of sectors to create jobs. The second is infrastructure. Physical infrastructure, digital infrastructure, and social infrastructure. Before we met, you came on the stage, we were talking to the IT Minister, Sridhar Babu Garu, and he was telling us about how Telangana government has aspirations of making Hyderabad the innovation center, AI innovation center for the country. The country looks up to Hyderabad. So that's the second thing you must be focusing on. The third, ease of doing business. Now, we all talk about it, we all know about it. And I'm sure the Chief Minister and his team are experienced. But when we were in the government 20 years ago, when we went around like these people are going around these days, canvassing for investment, you know what entrepreneurs like Sri Anand Mahindra tell chief ministers and ministers? If you want to give us tax concessions, it's okay. If you want to give us utilities at low cost, that's okay. But what we want more than all this is law and order, rule of law, and no interference from your people. So ease of doing business is something that you must be concentrating on. Chief Minister, you said yesterday that you're not competing with the rest of the country, you're competing with globally. You know, actually, I think as the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka said yesterday, competing within the country is actually good. Healthy competition among states is good, and you're competing globally, setting yourself an aspiration. Primary education and primary health, I'm sure it's part of the agenda. Politicians don't normally, pardon me for saying this, I'm being a bit blunt, but politicians don't normally concentrate on education and health. The reason is, I'm not blaming anyone, but the reason is democratic compulsions force politicians to have a short-term horizon. Do things that will yield results in the short term. No, they tend to relegate long-term things, because they're things that will generate results much later, because they're not political priority. But they're very, very important, as you must have noticed. You know, Karl Johan Juncker, who was the former Chancellor of the EU, he said, we all know what is the right thing to do. He was a politician. No? He said, we know what's the right thing to do. We don't know how to get re-elected after that. I'm sure that Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and his team are going to find a new model and prove Karl Juncker wrong, that it is possible to do things and get re-elected. Okay? And then I saw in the papers, in the media, pure, rare, inclusive growth, I cannot emphasize this enough. Accelerating growth is important. Growth is necessary, but not sufficient. 8%, 9% growth, if it's just a number, if the benefits of growth are not widely shared, that growth cannot be sustained. So you must have inclusive growth, which means that the benefits of growth must go to the poorest person in Telangana, to the most farthest point in Telangana. I'm sure the vision document is going to concentrate on that. And skills, of course, it will be presumptuous on my part to talk about skills when Mr. Anand Mahendra is here, but skilling is very important. Skilling is a difficult thing to do because it will not be done by the private sector. The government will not do it, is incapable of doing it. So you need public-private partnership, which we're seeing on the stage. Mr. Mahendra sitting next to the Chief Minister, that's exactly the partnership we require for skilling. And, I want to tell a story. When I was appointed governor in 2008, 17 years ago, I was Finance Secretary to Government of India at that time. I went to call on the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, just to thank him for choosing me to go to RBI. One-on-one meeting, I went across to his office, there were just two of us. And I told him, sir, thank you for appointing me as governor. We talked about the macroeconomic issues at that time. We talked about RBI, we talked about the government. We talked about the comparison between living in Mumbai and living in Delhi. And after about 10 minutes into this conversation, I asked Dr. Manmohan Singh, sir, do you have any advice to give me? A very humble person. He said, what advice do I give you, Subbarao? You've been in the IAS, you've seen the country, you've worked in the districts, you've seen the state government, you've seen the central government, what advice do I give you? And after another couple of minutes, I took leave of him and I was walking away, and gracious man as he was, he walked around from his table and escorted me to the door. And at the doorstop, he put his hand on my shoulder. Subba, I thought I'll give you one advice. That one advice I want to give you is that no matter what you're doing, remember that whatever you're doing, there's people behind you. The RBI is a great institution, but in the RBI, there's a risk that you'll get lost in numbers, in interest rate, money supply, inflation, exchange rate, but you will forget that there are real people behind that. Now, I was in the process of shifting from Delhi to Mumbai. About 30 seconds after I left the PM's office, that advice went out of my head. But as I started working in the RBI, that the purport of the Prime Minister's advice struck me. Because the primary responsibility of the Reserve Bank is to maintain price stability, low and steady inflation. Inflation is a regressive tax. Growing up in a low middle class family, I saw my parents struggle to put all of us through, and all of you saw this. So what the Prime Minister was telling me really is that whatever you're doing, remember the last people, because inflation hurts poor people more than it hurts well-off people. The shirt, if it cost 2,000 rupees last month, and if I go to buy this today, it costs 2,200 rupees, I wouldn't even notice it. But poor people, if the bus ticket goes up from 22 to 24 rupees, if the price of rice goes from 40 to 44 rupees, they notice that. So one thing as we implement the Telangana Rising document is to remember the people of Telangana. The last thing, I've spoken for longer than my time, but Chief Minister, sir, you said yesterday and you said today that Telangana is unstoppable. I also want to say that Telangana is unbeatable, okay? And John F. Kennedy said that, he gave a goal, moonshot goal, that we must get onto the moon, not because it is easy, but because it's difficult. So the Telangana Rising document, implementing that is not because it's easy, but it's going to be difficult. And 10 years from now, somewhere in the world, 10 years from now, sir, somewhere in the world, just like you said yesterday, Gyeongdong model, 10 years from now, somewhere in the world, somebody will say, we want to follow the Telangana model. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. As a person who have walked at least part of my path in your footsteps, I am also an IIT Kanpur alumni like you, and then joined the civil services, and I've been finance secretary, blessed to be finance secretary, sir. It was music to my ears, what you have told, sir. Now, I would request Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Sri Mallu Bhatti Vikramarka Garu, to kindly address the gathering.
Sri Revanth Reddy Garu, Honorable Chief Minister of Telangana, Sri Suman Berry Garu, Vice Chairperson Niti Ayog, and all the Honorable Cabinet Ministers, legislators, chairmen, and advisors of the government, and Sri Ananda Mahendra Garu, Sri Duvuri Subbarao Garu, Dr. Raghuram Rajan Garu, and Sri K. Ramakrishna Rao Garu, Chief Secretary, Professor Karthik Muralidharan Garu, and Sri Chiranjeevi Garu, Megastar, Shantan Narayan Garu, Chairman CEO Adobe, and all the participants of today's evening Telangana Rising 2047 Vision Document Release Function. Andarki Namaskaram. After a day and a half of the summit, I hope you saw the natural hospitality that Telangana is known for it. Hospitality is indeed our philosophy. Before I go further, I want to express heartfelt gratitude for the truly participative spirit in which the Telangana Rising 2047 vision was crafted. This was not the work of a few minds behind closed doors. It was a collective effort shaped by the wisdom and aspirations of a vast and diverse set of contributors. Honorable ministers brought clarity of purpose, civil servants brought insight from the ground, thought leaders and academics lent intellectual depth, and most importantly, lakhs of citizens across Telangana and the country, farmers, youth, entrepreneurs, and everyday workers shared their hopes and ideas for our future. I also want to place on record my gratitude to Dr. Suman Berry here as the VC of Niti Ayog, who ensured that this document was brought to final conclusion, along with the CEO, other officials from Niti Ayog, as well as the team from ISB. Thank you, Dean Madan Pillutla, and your team that has worked tirelessly to refine the detailed vision laid out in this document. I also wanted to assure Subbarao Garu the one or two words, two lines what he has expressed by saying growth has to be there, but it has to be inclusive growth. Of course, sir, this government's vision is, that's the main crux of our vision. Yes, definitely you will be seeing that in the document once after our Honorable Chief Minister releasing the document after the, after a few minutes. To all of you, thank you. This document belongs to all of us. I want to make one more important acknowledgement before I go further. At global summits, leaders are often accompanied by a Sherpa, not a literal guide, but a steady aspiration that helps navigate ambition and complexity. If this summit had a Sherpa, it was the spirit of resolve born from a historic decision, the one that gave Telangana its rightful identity. Today, on the birthday of Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji, I take a moment, with your permission, since I know this is non-political forum, but to acknowledge the quiet power of that choice. Her courage did not just shape our past, it continues to guide the aspirations we are crafting today. Now into the event itself, I have been thinking about the word summit. I realize there are actually two kinds of summits. The first kind is exactly what it sounds like. It's a meeting where you take the contributions, you add the speeches, and you calculate the total. It is simple arithmetic. It is a kind where you can quite literally sum it. But then there is a second kind, the kind we experience today. There is a summit where you cannot sum it. Because what was created in all these halls is a greater than the sum of its parts, where every panel did not just add ideas, it multiplied possibilities, where the synergy is so genuine and unscripted that it defies simple math. This event was the second kind. We cannot just sum it up because the impact is infinite. Why? Because the thirst was real. Telangana has long had ambition, but what is lacked was a single, structured, forward-looking framework. And that matched the scale of our aspirations. This time, we did not just build a document, we built a platform. And across sessions, from capital pathways to agri-value chains, frontier tech forest economies, I saw people not just speaking, but committing. As someone who chaired 2 sessions on productivity and power, let me offer a brief reflection. In the power session, I saw a state eager to move from being an energy consumer to an energy creator, with green hydrogen, distributed renewables, and smart grids lighting the path. In the productivity discussion, I saw consensus that India's next leap will not come from more effort alone, but from smarter systems, digital public infrastructure, empowered workers, and output-linked innovation. We came to a memorable conclusion: capital plus innovation is equal to productivity. There, these are not abstract themes. They are Telangana's real advantage. And none of this came from a single department or one expert panel. The vision document itself is a product of collective design. Months of field visits, public consultations, and inputs from those on the ground that includes experts seated on the dais and others present in this ground. Which is why I say again, this is not a static document, it will evolve. And we are committed to letting it evolve with new data, new partnerships, and new wisdom. We don't fear feedback, we welcome it. One more thought I must leave with you. For every young person in Telangana who attended these sessions, I hope you take your chance to build something so valuable that future generations walk on your path, quite literally. Let me end by saying to our guests, thank you for your solidarity and your confidence. To my colleagues in government, thank you for showing what coordination can truly look like. And to every participant, a speaker, an organizer, thank you for ensuring that we who organize this summit, telling into more than the sum of its parts in the document. And also, I just wanted to make it very clear. Our Chief Minister, Sri Revanth Reddy Garu, and the entire cabinet is having only one goal, how to achieve the target what we kept, the 2047 $3 trillion economy, for which tirelessly the entire cabinet under the leadership of Sri Revanth Reddy Garu is willing to work. And when we announced that, people thought it is impossible. But we wanted to make it very clear. Impossible things, we wanted to make it possible. That is what Telangana. We will do that. Telangana is having all kinds of natural resources, human resources, and talented technical human resources. The only one thing which is required is a simple goal and a commitment and a dream of achieving 2047 $3 economy, which the entire government of us under the leadership of Sri Revanth Reddy Garu and the entire cabinet is having that dream. We will definitely achieve it. We will show to the whole world. Thank you very much. And Jai Telangana and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Garu. Now I would request my colleague Jayesh to kindly introduce two sons of soil who have gone and achieved and are now heading world's famous companies. Jayesh.
Thank you very much, sir. As Chief Secretary pointed out, there are 4 important poster boys of Hyderabad: Mr. Ajay Banga, Mr. Satya Nadella, Mr. Shantanu Narayan, and Mr. Prem Vatsa. And from 1st January 2026, there will be a 5th one, Mr. Shailesh Jejurkar, who will become the President and CEO of Procter & Gamble. So all these poster boys of Hyderabad still have very high regard for the state, for the city, for Honorable Chief Minister personally. And at our request, 2 of them have decided to come live and interact briefly with us, share their thoughts. So can the setup team please put Mr. Shantanu Narayan and Mr. Prem Vatsa. Hey, so hello Prem. Hello Prem. Hello, hello Prem, hello Shantanu, can you hear both? Can you hear? Hello, Shantanu, hi Prem, can you hear me? Is our audio good? Just give us a wave, great. So thank you very much. Shantanu, I know that it is 4:30 a.m. for you. So thanks for making this effort. I do hope that you will, by what we tell you about our state, this will give you lots of energy. You will be able to manage your rest of the day. Thank you, Prem, for joining us. So Prem, we will start with you. You have seen the vision document, the executive summary of it. You today lead one of the biggest private investment firms, Fairfax. How optimistic are you about a state succeeding in all these promises, and what should companies like you do to support our vision further? Prem, a few words from you.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you for that introduction. And Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and my friends at that conference, good evening. I am very honored to join you with my good friend Shantanu, who's the CEO of Adobe and has an outstanding track record at Adobe. You introduced us from the Hyderabad Public School. We have Shantanu, we have Satya Nadella, and Ajay Banga, who I know. And Shantanu, you probably know a lot more people from the Hyderabad Public School. We're very honored to join you. And I grew up in Hyderabad, and in the Hyderabad Public School. My dad was the principal of the Hyderabad Public School, and I spent 3 years there, and they were the best years of my life. And because of that, I got an introduction to IIT Madras, Chennai, and I went there, and that was a terrific experience to me. I came to Canada in 1972 and learned a lot about business. I didn't know anything about business, learned a lot about business and investing. And 40 years ago, we began Fairfax Financial, 40 years ago. I recognize the sea change that took place when Mr. Modi got elected in 2014 with a business-friendly philosophy. We recognize that, and I've been investing in India for the last 35 years. I have said publicly that India is the greatest place, best country in the world to invest in, best country to invest in for the long term, for the decades to come. And we've invested 10 billion in India, and we plan to double that. And I hope, Chief Minister, we were able to invest in Telangana, the state that I came from. And so it's really inspiring to hear about Telangana rising, 3 trillion economy, 10% of GDP in 2047. Very, very inspirational. You wanted to have an investment magnet. You want to attract foreign investment, empower the people, empower the youth, the women, the farmers. Very, very inspirational. I have witnessed in North America, like Shantanu and the others, the power of free enterprise, of business and capitalism. I'm a function of that. Shantanu is a beneficiary of that. There's no limit to economic growth, as many of you have said, in Telangana, if you follow those principles. Very simply, I was in Dubai for our 40th business anniversary of Fairfax Financial. And what a magnificent job they've done in the last 25 years, and I'm sure Telangana will do even better. But the principle that they've had is what is good for the merchant is good for Dubai. What is good for the merchant, what is good for business, is good for Telangana. And that's what you're doing. So the next 22 years, 2047, I pray that Telangana, under your leadership, Honorable Chief Minister, will do exceptionally well, and will be an inspiration to everyone in India and also the world. So God bless you and the people of Telangana. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prem. That was very, very optimistic. Look forward to seeing you sometimes in Hyderabad. Over to you now, Shantanu. You also have a long association with Hyderabad. Incidentally, your parents still live here. So please share your thoughts. You are also a member of our advisory council constituted to help us draft the vision document and then in its implementation. So please tell us about your thoughts on this whole exercise of how we have created the vision and how do you see us succeeding it perfectly in this.
Thank you, Jayesh, and namaskaram. Let me first start off by thanking the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Revanth Reddy Garu, as well as the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Shri Bhatti Vikram Mallu Garu, for this opportunity to take part in this historic occasion for the launch of the visionary document Telangana Rising 2047. I think the vision aligns very seamlessly with Prime Minister Modi's ambitious goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047, which is a future where India emerges as a global leader in innovation, sustainability, and development. As India's youngest state, Telangana has already proved itself as a trailblazer in governance, in technology, and as numerous folks have mentioned, inclusive growth. I love this aspiration to become a 3 trillion economy by 2047 and contributing 10% to India's GDP. It's not just a bold vision, but I think it's a very achievable vision. And I think the vision will be powered by the people of Telangana, whose aspirations for better education, healthcare, clean environments, and opportunities have shaped this roadmap. I also think that this emphasis on empowering youth, women, and farmers is a testament to the state's commitment to inclusive development. As chair of Adobe, I'm proud to represent a company that shares this commitment to innovation and empowerment. We are trying to change the world through digital experiences at Adobe, and over a third of Adobe's global research and development is happening in India. So we know that Indians today are creating the innovation that is going to democratize creativity and individuals to thrive in this digital economy. I'm particularly proud of the visions document that's focusing on foundational enablers, tech and innovation, efficient financing, good governance. For example, I think Telangana's efforts to harness the transformative power of technology and establish the Telangana Artificial Intelligence Innovation Hub is a bold step towards positioning the state among the top AI globes globally. And I think that'll attract, as my friend Prem said, not just global investments, but will create high quality jobs and foster entrepreneurship. To me, though, I'm particularly moved by the vision's document emphasis on empowering youth through education and future-ready skills. And I'm committed to partnering with Telangana to provide artificial intelligence and digital literacy programs that will equip the youth